Today on the show, we talk about the Grand Rapids Griffins eliminating the Manitoba Moose in a 3-1 series in the Central Division semifinals. Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
Welcome back to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. We are a podcast brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network, and we are sponsored by DraftKings. I'm one of your hosts, Connor.
I'm the other host, Kyle. We are not officially partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins or Detroit Red Wings. We're a show by fans, for fans. We're just trying to get that news out there for the Grand Rapids Griffins, as everybody is right now.
Yeah, and the Grand Rapids Griffins have eliminated the Manitoba Moose in Game 4 of the semifinals of the Central Division. It's been a really good matchup. Griffins losing Game 1 and coming back and dominating the rest of the series, and Michael Pastava taking the starts, having an absolutely phenomenal performance. Also, not much more you can ask for. The fans showed up at the Van Andel Arena for the games. Even the Wednesday game was off the chains. Playoff hockey is in GR, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, so a couple things we got to address off the bat. I know Noah Dauer-Nilsson just signed a PTO for a contract for the Detroit Red Wings, so interesting there. Wonder if we'll see him in the playoffs.
We will not be seeing him in the playoffs because he was released from his professional tryout, and he was sent down along with Keenan Draper was released from his tryout, and Jesse Kiskinen was signed back to HPK league. So
there's your news for some of those players. Still a lot of questions with like Trey Augustine. What's going to happen with him during this playoff run? Does he get a game somewhere in here, or do they send him down to the ECHL and give him a run with the Walleye?
Yeah, considering Kosa has not had a start yet, I think they're kind of trying to keep Kosa fresh. I don't think people should be too worried about this. I think this is like a test for Pastava. I think the Griffins had confidence that we could win this series. And, why we've noticed in the past, Kosa kind of has some struggles being with a workload. So he was at that threshold, I feel. So they're giving him the break, and I think they're keeping him fresh for when we really need Sebastian Kosa to step in.
Yeah, so don't be shocked if the next series has a little bit more of both goaltenders. So speaking of the Manitoba Moose series, we will dive into Game 3 first. We'll get into that game review. So Game 3 at the Van Andel Arena. It was the first playoff game for the Griffins here in the 26 Calder Cup playoffs.
And the energy was great walking through those doors. It's not ideal for it to be on a Wednesday, but, you always have us diehard season ticket members always going on Wednesday anyway. So here we come down on Wednesdays, we walking through the doors. The atmosphere is great. They're handing out the rally towels. Everyone's there. The season ticket member zone, the VIP lounge is packed full. Everyone's there. Everyone's got all their friends. Just best vibes you could possibly ask for on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I believe it was like 7,800 came, just more than 7,800. So good job to all of the Griffins fans who made it down to Van Andel Arena on that Wednesday night, 7 o'clock start. And the Griffins end up winning this one. And salute to the crowd for sure, this 4-2 victory. In net, we had Michael Pastava for the third game in a row. He ended up making 15 of 17 saves in this game. So great stuff there for Pastava. And Divan Chentis gets the start for the Moose again, making 28 of 31 saves for the Moose in this one. Still an impressive performance by Divan Chentis. He's a hard guy to beat.
Yeah, first period, about 11:53 in, Jacob Rukalski gets his goal, his first in the playoffs. And that was an amazing play by Gustafsson. Gustafsson comes in, does a bunch of moves, passes it down, jukes by two dudes, passes it, gets it passed over, back to him, to Tuomi still, and then shoots at the net, and Rukalski comes in and swings right in there and gets the goal. Amazing play by all the guys involved there.
Yeah, good stuff. And yeah, that move at the blue line for Gustafson to make the forechecker miss and created so much space for him to work it up the middle and cycle it through. And it was really good play, as that's the only goal of the first period. The Griffins strike first at home, and Gustafson will open up the scoring in the second period as well. So we'll get a little bit of a time to shine for Gustafson here for the Griffins.
Pucks in the zone, they kind of shine. Leonard get the assists on this, and Gustafson kind of makes a long shot from the point over there, and it squeezes its way in past Devichensis and goal.
Yeah, good one. Like we said, just striking again. Great time to shine for Gustafson and really being one of the stars in this game at home, letting the Griffins go up 2-0 to a really good start to this home game. And that one being 4:41 into the second period. The next goal comes to put the Griffins up 3-0 with about 3 minutes left in the second period. And Carter Mazer will get this one unassisted, and some athletics by Carter Mazer here.
Yeah, he actually pulled out of the air, sets it right down, and makes a shot. And the shot was a really good shot. I mean, you could see the net flex after he hit it. So
yeah, Carter Mazer unassisted with that catch off the high puck and just blasted it in there. Good stuff for Carter Mazer with about 3 minutes left in the second period. But Manitoba's not going to just lay over, as Mason Shaw is going to get his second goal against the Griffins here in this series.
Yeah, it was a really good play by Mason Shaw in general, being the Moose's captain. He comes down, rushes past, I believe it was Gustafson in the corner. He beat Gustafson, passed it over to their Gustafson. Trail Max was just outbeaten. They pass it over, and Anhorn takes the shot, and it kind of hits Pastava, goes down, and then Shaw comes over and hits it.
I think Shaw got a stick in with Postava trying to make the save and just made contact with the puck in there, and just enough of a deflection or just enough contact to get Postava out of the picture, and puck enters the net. So first goal for the Manitoba Moose in this game, as score is now 3-1 at the end of the second period. And then going into the third period, the Moose strike back again to make this a close game. And it won't be until late in the period, so about 16:48 in, it'll be Fogamo getting his second goal of the playoffs. Yeah, good goal by the Moose here to make this one a really close game.
Yeah, but that doesn't last for long because they pull their goaltender once again, and Carter Mazer gets the empty net, getting his second goal of the game, and walking home as the hero. Well, walking out of the Van Andel as hero tonight, assisted by Sheldon Dries.
Yeah, and that one with 46 seconds left in the third period, so Griffins will walk away with this one 4-2, the win. Carter Mazer coming down with the star, number one star in this game, getting the interview with Larry post-game, and exciting stuff, getting these live ice interviews right after the game for the playoffs. Love that. Love to see Larry back in the booth. So all good times here for Grand Rapids after game 3, going up 2-1 in the series.
And we can't mention that the octopus hit the ice immediately. So another fun time.
So game 4.
The Stanley Cup playoffs are here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has a new customer offer. Bet player props, bet live, from opening faceoff to the final horn. Every moment matters. New DraftKings customers, bet just $5 and you'll get $100 in bonus bets instantly. And not only the Stanley Cup, but don't forget about the Calder Cup playoffs too. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN so you're ready for the moment. That's code THPN. Turn $5 into $100 in bonus bets instantly. In partnership with DraftKings, The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
A chance to eliminate the Moose again at Van Andel Arena. This one on a Friday. On May 8th, Griffins will eliminate the Moose in a 5-2 victory. The goalies were Michael Pastava for his fourth straight start in the 26 Calder Cup playoffs. So Kosa remains benched for the entire series versus the Moose. And
Thomas Millett.
Yeah, Thomas Millett comes out for Manitoba Moose.
And he was actually kind of like their starter for the regular season for the most part. When we talked to Dave Minuk, he kind of said he was their main guy. And kind of same story with Pastava. Devin Chenchis is hot. Pastava's hot. Both of these goalies that didn't carry the team for the regular season got the shots. And Thomas Millett gets it, but Pastava staying hot gets his fourth start of the series.
Yeah, so Pastava in this one, 19 saves on 21 Moose shots, and Thomas Millick gets 21 saves on 25 Griffins shots. So we'll cover the goals here. Didn't take long for the Griffins to get into things in the first period and light this crowd right up. Nice Friday crowd. Things were loud.
Very similar to the last crowd, but I feel like there's a lot more Red Wings fans here in this game.
Yeah, a lot more red in the crowd on this Friday night. So a lot of people able to make that trip. I'm glad to see them down there. And 14:40 in, you get Eduards Traumax, assisted by Gustafson and Stakoviak on the power play. So Traumax getting his first goal of the playoffs, and what a snipe it was.
Yep, and then that is the only goal for the first period.
Yep.
But a very high energy first period. Griffins come in with the crowd on their backs. Once again, octopus being thrown early. Big time. Lots of Red Wings fans, Red Wings staff, and Yzerman present, all this kind of fun stuff. But yeah, great first period. Moving on to the second and the Moose strike.
Yeah, so Moose will make this a 1-1 tie as Anhorn gets his first goal of the playoffs, assisted by Colby Barlow and Braden Yeager. Braden Yeager getting in his fourth assist, being a huge impact for the Manitoba Moose in this series. And yeah, this one only 3 minutes into the second period, so right back into a solid game here, 1-1. Griffins are going to try to force this elimination, and Axel Sandin Pelika will do just that, getting his first goal of the playoffs on a stellar individual effort, I will say, to break free and get loose on two Manitoba Moose defenders, get in between the goalie, and basically go 5-hole on Thomas Millick and beat him for what would be the uplifting goal to go 2-1 for Grand Rapids.
Yeah, and Leonard with a great pass there to set that up on the power play.
Yeah, and that one will come later in the period at 14:50 into the second.
So going into the third period, then you get another nice break there. You get Lombardi, Mazer and Lombardi passing it through, and then you get a break with Lombardi and MBN, and Lombardi passes it right on over, and MBN gets his second of the playoffs.
Yeah, and this one, I mean, comes immediately into the third period. A minute and 37 seconds into it, so to go up 2 goals in the third period like this has to be a little bit worrisome for the Manitoba Moose. And the Griffins didn't slow down at that. Physical game, a lot of defense in this one by the Griffins, really kind of stepping back and playing the way the Moose have, really tight gaps, creating havoc for the Moose in the offensive zone. And eventually the Griffins will go up 4-1 This one with Mazer scoring his third goal, assisted by Amadeus Lombardi and Gustafson. Amadeus Lombardi really with speed, getting the chance, gets the pass over to Carter Mazer. And yeah, I mean, these two have been threatening all playoffs long, and this line with Lombardi and Mazer together really looking good right now, especially in this fourth game, finding that chemistry again. So Mazer getting his third goal. Lombardi, that's his second assist after he assisted MBN on the last one. And this one comes on the power play as well. So 3 power play goals for the Griffins in this game.
Yeah, these guys just looking really good out there, Lombardi and Mazer. Killer combo. So the Moose come down, and with all efforts left, they knock a goal in there.
I guess Seppi will get his first goal of the playoffs for the Moose, the assistant captain for the Moose, assisted by Parker Ford and Anderson Dolan, getting all of them getting their first points of the playoffs. So a key time for them to step up and at least make this a game 4-2, where the Moose are going to try to strike back. Goalie gets pulled. So that one was with 5 minutes left in the third period, leaving who other than Carter Mazer to get his fourth goal. This one on his second empty net goal of the season with about 3 minutes left in the game. So Griffins will silence the Moose. And I think in this game here, especially the power play, man, finally woke up, was able to strike 3 goals and
3 power play goals.
I mean,
4 power play goals.
Carter Mazer, should we call him clutch again? He's back.
Yeah, Carter Mazer kind of reminded me of Tyler Bertuzzi again. I know that reference was kind of exiled, but I'm starting to see that kind of clutch ability in the play style of Tyler Bertuzzi.
Yeah, I mean, when it was 2017 and Bertuzzi was ripping up opponents' defenses, and I'm starting to see that comparison now a lot more with the way Carter Mazer's finding the hole in the Moose. So really good stuff here for Carter Mazer as we kind of wrap this series up. He's leading the Griffins in points, and yeah, the penalty kill for Grand Rapids here too, going 1 for 9 in the series. Good stuff. I mean, they allowed 1 goal in the first game that they lost. That was the only goal that they allowed in that first game, and since then, penalty kill has been solid. So 1 for 9 on that and 4 for 10 on the power play in the whole series. So sitting at a 40% power play after that last game.
Yeah, looking really good. Obviously we got to talk about Pastava being the man. We're going to talk about some MVPs we have here. We're both going to pick an MVP for this series. I went with Carter Mazer. We were just talking about him. I'm going to throw that. I think he was the MVP of this series for the Griffins with his offense ability. With him taking the clutch, he's the guy who had the hard season, got injured, comeback player of the year. Carter Mazer really taking the lead of this team.
Yeah, love to see it. A guy that got the chance for the end of the season with the Red Wings, and you can see why. It's deserved. The guy has been working his butt off all season to get back on the ice, and finally does, and it's finally starting to come. I mean, honestly, every time he's been on the ice for Grand Rapids this season has been a huge difference for the Griffins and how they played. And you can just see that elite firepower with Carter Mazer on the ice and great chemistry with Lombardi as they've had throughout the seasons here for Grand Rapids.
So, Kyle, who are you picking for your MVP?
I'm going Michael Pastava. 4 games started against the Manitoba Moose. I knew a lot of people were hoping he got the start, and I don't think anyone really expected him to get all 4 starts. So that was kind of impressive for me to see him retain the workload that everyone's kind of been asking, like, can he play game after game after game? Well, he just did that in the playoffs against the Manitoba Moose. Pretty good team, if you ask me, and looked absolutely great. So Pastava ended up with 86 saves on 91 shots from the Manitoba Moose in this series, and an overall of a 0.94 save percentage and a 1.25 goals against average. So great for Michael Pastava. And then kind of want to talk about the Moose here a little bit too, as anyone listening
real
from
quick,
the Moose.
Before we get into the Moose, I also want to mention Michael Branson Nygaard really looked good out there too. He He had 2 really
sure.
nice goals. He got the first goal for the Griffins, I believe.
Yeah, he is a rookie. Everyone's got to remember he is like officially a rookie for the Grand Rapids Griffins, and he's putting up points like anyone else on the team. He's looked stellar and very, very aggressive. He's playing like it's the playoffs, and that's what you want to see out of him. So 100% has been as advertised, and Carter Mazer and Michael Brensig Nygaard on a line together. Like, it's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
So,
we'll talk about the Moose a little bit.
Yeah, let's dive into the Moose. I mean, we got to give them a little bit of credit, right? Because regardless of this 3-1 series loss, an incredible team to play against. I have massive respect for the Manitoba Moose after all of this. Both teams went down to the wire. All games were good. Divan Chentis, I mean, holy smokes, that guy was absolutely stellar. Not just in the series versus Grand Rapids. He was amazing to get the Moose to the series against Grand Rapids. So in Milwaukee, he absolutely played amazing. Or I guess in Manitoba against Milwaukee, but
yeah, I want to talk about Garrett Brown. He was really impressive. He's a guy coming over just now from college and stuff. So real impressive to see that physicality from a young guy coming out of the NCAA looking really good.
Yeah, championship winner down there with Denver University. So I know we got Tuomisto and Boehm who have that same pedigree, and looks like they've just put out defenseman after defenseman. So
yeah, nice little
Zeev
pipeline
Boehm, too.
that guy going there.
Yeah, Zeev Boehm, another top defenseman from Denver. So impressive stuff there. Yeah, Garrett Brown, he really showed out. I was looking at him as more of a prospect, but turns out he kind of stepped right in as one of the top defensemen for the Moose. And yeah, impressive. If he's going to be around there next year, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, obviously, Yager and Lambert also played really good games, and being like the higher draft picks for the Moose. They were real impressive. That little fight between
Lagesson
and Lambert was that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, things got heated at the end of the second game over there in Manitoba, and yeah, Lambert looks like a kid that could take a step to the NHL, if you ask me. I know he was a first-round pick for the Jets, so yeah, he's looking really good for the Moose in that matchup for Grand Rapids, and yeah, Jaeger as well. I know he got 4 assists, so looking good there. I know their Gustafson, not our Gustafson, but their Gustafson was their team leader in points for the playoffs here with 5 points as well. So, or I think 7 points he had. So really good stuff there for the Moose. I mean, a hard ask for them to come into Grand Rapids with a win here, but very exciting to watch them in the Calder Cup playoffs this year, and looking forward to future matchups next year.
So that being said, the Grand Rapids Griffins eliminate the Manitoba Moose, and they will be facing the Chicago Wolves.
Yeah, looking forward to this matchup. Really, very intense matchup all year round throughout the regular season. So this is going to be a very good rivalry for the Wolves and the Griffins to reinstall some hatred, maybe.
Yeah, and the schedule is set. So you got game 1 Thursday, May 14th versus Chicago at 7 p.m. at the Van Andel Arena. $2 beer, $2 dogs. You got game 2 Saturday, May 16th versus Chicago at 7 p.m. at Van Andel Arena. So back to the normal format where the home team starts at home. You got the Griffins 2 first home games. Then you travel to Chicago. They do not have home field advantage, so they do not get the weekend priority. They'll be playing on Tuesday for Game 3, May 19th at Chicago at 8 p.m., and then Game 4, Thursday, May 21 at Chicago at 8 p.m. So any of us Grand Rapids fans kind of hoping to make the trip down there and have a away game. Anyone who has to work,
yeah, probably not happening.
Their plans have been spoiled. And then if a Game 5, if necessary, would be at Grand Rapids Griffins Saturday, May 23 versus Chicago at 7 p.m. So looking forward to that matchup. A huge rivalry between the Griffins and the Wolves in the past. We are actually catching up with Tom Ray from the Storm Tracker podcast and Hurricanes and Chicago Wolves coverage. So really cool. Check that one out. We'll have that coming out. So,
yeah, exciting for Grand Rapids. Another, we advanced versus, I think me and Connor were talking about it. We advanced versus Rockford 2 years ago, but every time you get to watch the Griffins advance in the playoffs, there's something special about it. So really looking forward to seeing that again versus the Chicago Wolves. But until it happens, got to play those games. So
yeah,
that should wrap up our series review for Manitoba here. It was a 3-1 series. Great fought, hard matchup, and all the respect to Manitoba. It was hard to watch them walk away. So
yeah, I actually have more respect than anything for them now at this point.
Yep. I don't think it'll be the same with the rest of the teams.
But yeah, that being said, there's one more thing I want to go over here. We want to talk about what's happened so far in the playoffs. We have 8 teams remaining. We have the division finals finally. So in the Central Division, we have the Grand Rapids Griffins versus the Chicago Wolves. In the Pacific Division, we have the Coachella Valley Firebirds versus the Colorado Eagles. The winner of that will play the winner of the Griffins and the Chicago Wolves for the Western Conference Championship. And then on the other side, you have the Springfield Thunderbirds, who are looking like a real contender, knocking out the number 1 Province Bruins and the Charlotte Checkers. So both really good teams being knocked out, really destroying the Province Bruin there.
Yeah, and they got Wilkes-Barre Scranton next. So if they can take out Wilkes-Barre Scranton, you're dealing with an elite team.
And then for the North Division, you have the Toronto Marlies and the Cleveland Monsters. So that'll be a good matchup also. So a lot of really good matchups there. The winner of those 2 games will obviously play for the Eastern Conference Final, and then the 2 winners of that will play for the Calder Cup Championship. And that, I believe the next 2 series after this 3 of 5 will go to best 4 of 7. So
back to a regular hockey playoff style format.
Get ready for a lot more playoff action and a lot of fun matchups. So
yep,
don't miss out. Get that flow prescription.
So until we meet again.
Thank you for listening to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star review. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We are not partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Detroit Red Wings, or Toledo Walleye. We are not experts. We are just die-hard fans looking to make a community with others alike. Let's go, Griffins Nation. Join the fun, like, and follow us on Facebook and X, or call into the show and have your opinion heard 1-616-319-1175. Thank you. Grand Rapids Griffins, Toledo Walleye, and Detroit Red Wings. Players, coaches, websites, and social media. Thank you, AHL.com, NHL.com, ETL.com, EliteProspects.com, and anyone else putting out information on the teams. Until next time, go Griffins. Go Red Wings, go Walleye.